Part 3. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo she mo yet. Chapter 21. If she hadn't known that Guo Tongwen was jealous of Ren Ran, she couldn't help but suspect that this person did it on purpose. Seeing that Kong Lian hadn't answered yet, Zhao Yi helped Ren Ran to ask, Kong Lian, what's the name of your pastry chef? He must be a very famous pastry chef who can make desserts comparable to those of a pastry chef like Pete Zhou. What's his name? Kong Lian didn't know any famous pastry chefs, so she could only answer vaguely, I don't care much about these, I'll ask for you later. I don't know if it was the influence of Ren Ran's words yesterday, or she learned micro-expressions, she always felt that Kong Lian was a little guilty. If it was really as she thought, it would be interesting. Zhao Yi smiled, waiting to watch the show and eat melons. Is Ren Ran's family so rich? Why didn't I know it before? I really can't tell, Ren Ran's family is rich. I used to think Ren Ran's family was well off. Look at the things she uses. Although there are no logos, the texture is very good and it looks very expensive. Isn't there a saying on the internet that says it well? Really rich people are very low-key, and only nouveau riche are high-profile, Zhao Yi said meaningfully. Most of the classmates didn't think much about it, and only a few heard the connotation. Yes, the more you lack, the more you like to show off. The heartless classmate ate Kong Lian's snacks and said something that pierced his lungs. What's more annoying is that he was just chatting and speaking from the bottom of his heart. Kong Lian's hands unconsciously clenched into fists. Even though she knew that the other party was not targeting her intentionally, she still felt uncomfortable, as if she was being pricked by a needle. Seeing that the focus of the classmates' discussion shifted from her to Ren Ran, she even had the illusion of making wedding clothes for others. Ren Ran and Kong Lian, the first fight. Kong Lian KO. Guo Tongwen seemed unwilling to see everyone's attention focused on Ren Ran, and asked, Wow, Ren Ran, your family is so rich, I didn't know before. You don't consider us friends? Kong Lian raised her eyebrows when she heard this. This idiot is not that stupid, he also knows how to dig a hole, and he means something. Zhao Yi chuckled and simply became Ren Ran's mouthpiece. If Ren Ran said it, people who don't know would think she was showing off. If she doesn't say it, it's wrong again. Whoever puts this mouth on is the most reasonable. Everyone understood. Someone asked curiously, Ren Ran, what does your family do? Faced with everyone's curiosity, Ren Ran replied frankly, Yaxing Group is opened by my family. The corner of his eye has been paying attention to Kong Lian's every move, and he clearly saw the jealousy and hatred that flashed across her face. Wow wow wow! A group of people exclaimed, they were too surprised. Yaxing Group is a well-known listed company in Haishi. It is a company that ranks among the best in Haishi. How can they not be surprised to have such a rich man around them? Ren Ran turned to look at Kong Lian. Kong Lian, what does your family do? Without waiting for her to answer, Ren Ran asked and answered himself, wondering, your last name is Kong, and it seems that there is no family with the last name Kong in Haishi. What does your family do? The attention of the classmates shifted from her to Kong Lian. My family is from another province. Kong Lian did not dare to say it was Haishi, it was too easy to be exposed, especially since Ren Ran was still here. There is also a risk of being exposed if you say it is from this province, so it is safest to say it is from another province. Is it from Shandong? A classmate asked curiously. No, Kong Lian shook his head and refused to say where it was specifically from. What does your family do? Ren Ran pressed on step by step. Kong Lian almost bit her gums and squeezed out dryly, my family has many industries under its name, and I am not sure what they do specifically. What is the name of your company? You must know it, right? Zhao Yi asked. Well, someone asked for her, so Ren Ran could save some words. Kong Lian felt like she was being forced to walk up a cliff. She reacted quickly and immediately reported a name. My father's name is Kongming Cheng. Kongming Cheng, this name is unfamiliar to all the students present, but Ren Ran is not unfamiliar at all. Kongming Cheng is the chairman of the Walrus Group, a top 100 enterprise, focusing on industry, and is a long-established enterprise. The classmates were not slow and immediately found out Kongming Cheng's information. Wow, it turns out that Kong Lian is the daughter of the Walrus Group. Our class is really full of crouching tigers and hidden dragons. Kong Lian smiled and enjoyed the envious eyes of everyone. Zhao Yi was a little surprised, and subconsciously turned his head to look at Ren Ran, noticing her raised lips. That angle, that micro-expression, why is there a sense of sarcasm? Well, let's take a look at this matter. Sure enough, Ren Ran opened his curious and innocent eyes and asked innocently, "Does Uncle Kong have a daughter? Why haven't I heard of it?" The smile on Kong Lian's face froze for a moment. The classmates who had just been envious looked at her with doubts and inquiring eyes. At that moment, Kong Lian's expression almost couldn't hold back. At this moment, the bell for class rang, and the conversation ended. Kong Lian was inexplicably relieved, with a feeling of surviving a disaster. She thought carefully about Ren Ran's actions just now, and doubts arose in her heart. Did she notice something? Kong Lian spent the whole class observing Ren Ran's reaction, and there was nothing unusual. It seemed to be her own illusion. At noon, a group of people rushed into the cafeteria. This was a rare time for everyone to rest, and it was also a time for gossip. Kong Lian and several classmates walked to the cafeteria, talking and laughing. The students in front did not notice that the people behind were talking about it unscrupulously. "Do you think Kong Lian is the daughter of Kongming Cheng?" someone asked. "Do they believe what he said or what Kong Lian said?" Naturally, it is the former. After all, they have studied together for 2 years. Even if their friendship is not deep enough to live and die together, they are still close to each other compared with the transfer students who just came. Kong Lian doesn't look like she is lying. Yes, there are luxury cars to pick her up, a special housekeeper, and a dessert chef in a 5-star hotel. These are things that ordinary people can't get access to. Besides, she doesn't have to lie to us. There is no benefit. This statement was recognized by many people. In this case, there is only one possibility. What? The slow-reacting people have not recovered yet. She is a daughter who cannot be seen in the light, the daughter of the 3rd or 4th mistress, the man said with a smile. Wow, several people exclaimed and understood it all at once. All the things that they couldn't figure out before can be explained all at once. I said so. She is from another province, and she is the daughter of the Walrus Group. She didn't stay in her own province, but came to our high city. It doesn't make sense. If she is an illegitimate daughter who is not allowed to see the light of day, then it is normal. No wonder Ren Ran didn't know her and had never heard that Kongming Cheng had a daughter. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo She Mo Yet. Chapter 22. I didn't expect it to be the mistress's daughter. It's not necessarily the 3rd child, it could be the 4th or 5th child. I thought she was some rich young lady before, but I didn't expect that she was an illegitimate daughter who couldn't see the light of day. Kong Lian and the others who were walking behind could hear it clearly. Several classmates beside her turned their heads to look at Kong Lian quietly, with inquiry and suspicion in their eyes. Kong Lian tried her best to keep a smile on her face. She already hated these people to death in her heart, but the person she hated the most was Ren Ran. If it weren't for her, the image of the daughter of a mysterious financial group that she worked hard to create would not have such big cracks or even be stained. Sure enough, the two of them are destined to be enemies. My father protected me very well, and it's normal for the outside world not to know. There are too many bad people in today's society, so we have to be careful. I didn't expect that such a big mistake would happen, Kong Lian explained in a pretending to be relaxed, and immediately he said nonchalantly, this kind of thing is a matter of opinion. Only they themselves know what the classmates beside them think. Guo Tongwen stepped forward and spoke in support, I believe you. How can any illegitimate daughter dare to be so high profile? Just like Ren Ran, I didn't know she was the daughter of the Yaxing group before, and it must be for safety reasons. After all, kidnapping a wealthy businessman, there are many things happening to the children of wealthy businessmen, so be careful and do nothing wrong. Kong Lian's eyes towards Guo Tongwen became much more pleasant, and he became more pleased with her. Several other people heard this and agreed. Although she tried her best to make up for it, she could not return to the original state. The perfect rich second-generation character finally left a crack. King Huan high-end community. Kong Lian threw her skull bag on the sofa as if to vent her anger, and sat on the sofa sullenly. The gloomy aura exuding from her whole body told the people around her that she was very unhappy and unhappy. Ruan Fengruo came out of the kitchen with a glass of juice and a plate of fruit in her hands. What happened at school? Ruan Fengruo sat next to her. Kong Lian told what happened, and the more he talked, the angrier he became. Mom, if it weren't for those few words of hers, the perfect character I created before would not be overturned. The mother and daughter of the Ren family, whether they are older or younger, are disgusting. Kong Lian was angry, the face becomes distorted. Ruan Fengruo did not rush to comfort her and allowed her to vent. After she had vented enough and was tired, she spoke slowly. Do you think it's all her fault? Under the gaze of his mother's calm gaze, Kong Lian gradually regained his senses. No, it's because I didn't think carefully. Being able to admit one's mistakes is a good start. What I'm most afraid of is knowing that I'm wrong but refusing to admit it. Such people often achieve nothing and make their lives a complete failure. If I had thought through all the loopholes and plugged them all when I was creating this character, I wouldn't have gotten myself into a scandal and ruined my plan just because of her few words. Seeing that her daughter was in a low mood, Ruan Fengruo patted her shoulder gently and said, if you have a failure experience, you will not go down the same road next time. Lian, you have to remember that there is number 100% perfect plan. But just make sure that your imperfect plan can achieve your goal before it is exposed. I understand, she nodded. What are you going to do next? She knew that her mother was testing, but also educating and imparting experience. Kong Lian did not rush to answer, and thought carefully in his mind, find a way to break the rumors and make them believe in your identity. Ruan Fengruo shook her head. Kong Lian continued to think, this time he thought for a longer time and no longer answered hastily. Change direction. Ruan Fengruo's encouraging eyes made her understand that she was in the right direction. Win people's hearts. Ruan Fengruo smiled and said, you finally understand that your focus is not to create a personality. The purpose of creating a personality is to attract people more easily, to win everyone into your camp, and when the time is right, isolate them together. Ren Ran. Kong Lian nodded. She almost entered a dead end. Fortunately, her mother's guidance prevented her from going further down the wrong road. Now you should understand, what are you going to do? Yeah, I understand. A smile appeared on Kong Lian's face again. When their mother and daughter were thinking about how to plot against others, they still had no time. Applying eye drops cannot be stopped. Ren Ran returned home and looked around, but didn't see Kongji. Aunt Li, has my dad come back? Aunt Li poked her head out of the kitchen. Mister hasn't come back yet. Madam is going to the spa. Calculate the time, she will be there in a minute. Aunt Li, help me get a fruit plate. Okay, miss. Returning to his room, Ren Ran started working on his exercise book. After being reborn, she is not only burdened with saving the fate of her family, but she also cannot relax in her studies. She was not used to the intensity at first, but the hardships in her previous life had tempered her temperament well. Calm down your mind and quickly enter the learning state. After finishing the second practice paper, the door knocked and Rensuya entered the room. Mom, hasn't Dad come back yet? Yes. An important partner has arrived temporarily, Rensuya said simply. How did you learn? Good. Rensuya looked at the stacks of papers on her daughter's desk and felt very distressed. Studying is important, but your body is more important. Don't listen to what Grandpa said. You must get into a famous school. Rensuya touched her daughter's head. Mom, do you still remember Kongming City and Uncle Kong? Of course I remember. What's wrong? Does Uncle Kong have a daughter? No. He only has 2 sons. You've seen them both. That's strange. The new girl in our class is said to be Uncle Kong's daughter. Rensuya thought of the illegitimate daughter. Don't talk nonsense about such things. Well, I know she thought about it. That girl is very generous. She is picked up by a luxury car every day, and I heard that she has a monthly pocket money of 500,000. Rensuya pinched her nose. Is the money not enough? Knowing that her mother misunderstood, she didn't explain. Now what she did was to put eye drops on her father, and when her mother knew the truth, today's words would be poison, so that her mother could completely abandon her father's poison. That's not it. I just feel that the gap between people is so big. There is a tenfold gap between 50,000 and 500,000. That transfer student was really nice. She made cakes and gave them to the whole class. The cakes she sent tasted very similar to Uncle Pete Joe's. I almost thought Uncle Pete Joe was working part-time as a delivery man. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo yet. Chapter 23. Rensuya didn't think deeply about what she said before, but this last sentence made her have to think deeply about it. Of course, Rensuya suddenly shouted, and when she was about to blurt out the words, she was suddenly stuck when she met her daughter's clear eyes. After a 2-second pause, Rensuya stood up and said, "Don't do it too late, pay attention to rest." Good. The door closed, and Ren turned his head to look at the closed door. Mom, it hurts to have your dreams broken, but you have to accept it in the end. She understood her mother's state of mind because she had experienced the same in her previous life. Rensuya walked to the first floor and looked outside the door. Her husband hadn't come back yet. Madam, there's nothing wrong. I'm going to rest first. Aunt Lee, where is Pete Joe? I don't know. Yesterday, Mr. Peter Joe was called away by a phone call from Mr. Peter. Would you like me to call him? No need. You go and rest. Okay. Madam, you should also go to bed early. There was only one lamplit in the huge villa. Under the weak light, the people on the sofa became blurry. Kongji returned home, and when he walked to the living room, he was almost frightened and looked at the person sitting on the sofa in surprise. Honey, why are you sitting here? He stepped forward and took her waist naturally, but was avoided by the person opposite. Sensing something was wrong with her, Kongji asked with concern, "Honey, what's wrong? Did something happen?" Rensuya looked at Kongji and looked at him quietly. The look in her eyes made Kongji feel inexplicably uneasy. When the atmosphere between the two was about to reach breaking point, Rensuya finally said, "You are coming back later and later." Kongji breathed a sigh of relief, but got angry again over such a trivial matter. He held her hand and said, "Honey, next time I will try to ask the secretary to not arrange too much work and spend more time with you and your daughter." After saying that, he leaned over and placed a kiss on her forehead. Rensuya went upstairs. Kongji sighed helplessly and followed upstairs. Tonight will be a sleepless night. He will have to let Fengru give him a good patch up tomorrow. Jingle bell. There is no physical education class in the senior year of high school, but today the head teacher deliberately did not make the physical education teacher sick in order to relieve their nervousness. On the playground, the physical education teacher is equally considerate and directly organizes male students to play basketball and female students to play volleyball or have free activities. The students who had been immersed in studying cheered for joy when they heard the PE teacher's wise arrangements. Zhao Yi pulled Ren to play badminton. You can study anytime. It's rare to relax, so you can't miss this opportunity. Happy time is always short-lived. As soon as the bell rings, everyone returns to the tense learning atmosphere again. The students who returned to the classroom had not yet recovered from the freedom they had in the previous class. They were all chatting enthusiastically, talking about things that had nothing to do with study. Ah! A scream broke the noisy and happy atmosphere. Everyone's eyes fell on Tanjia, the life committee member. What's wrong? Tanjia looked anxious. The money in the bag is gone, and there are still more than 2,000 class fees in it. Call the head teacher and ask for surveillance. Monitor Mao Zhen responded quickly and made a judgment immediately. Ren subconsciously looked at Kong Lian, and when he saw the unbearable desire to perform in her eyes, he made a judgment in his heart. The head teacher, Teacher Zhao, heard that the class fee had been stolen and hurried over. Teacher Zhao, the money was still there before the physical education class. After the physical education class, I found that the money was gone as soon as I came back. The money must have been stolen during this time. Tanjia's eyes were filled with worry. Tears welled up. Don't panic. Teacher Zhao called the security room to get surveillance. The security room quickly gave the answer. The surveillance system was broken yesterday and had not yet been repaired. The security room originally planned to take advantage of the weekend when there were no classes to study. It's hard to find now. Kong Lian asked, will anyone from outside the school enter the school today? No. Tanjia said, that must be someone from the school. During class, most students are in class. People who have time and know that I have money here must be familiar people. As soon as these words came out, whispers immediately broke out in the class. No way. Doesn't this mean there are thieves among us? Tanjia's analysis is correct. It's impossible for the faculty and staff to come here specially to steal it, right? It's not impossible. I think there are more problems within our class. The last class in our class is physical education, which is a free activity. Basically, we can use the elimination method. Yeah. There's no need to go to all that trouble. Just search it for everyone and it'll be over. Everyone was talking about it. Teacher Zhao, why don't you search it? You can start with me, Mao Zhen said. I agree. I agree too. It's best to find out early. I agree. I have a clear conscience and I agree. Approval came one after another. Even if someone is unwilling at this time, they dare not pour cold water on it at this time, as it will make them look very suspicious. Seeing that most of the students had this idea, Teacher Zhao asked as usual, is there anyone who disagrees? If anyone disagrees, we will try another method. If so, raise your hands. The classroom was quiet, no one expressed their opinion. Since no one objects, let's check it. Teacher Zhao, Tanjia, and Mao Zhen checked everyone's school bags and drawers in order. Ren was sitting by the window, and the inspection started from the corridor, so her row had to wait until the end. Ren put her hands in her pockets, waiting for the follow-up, not panicking at all. What is this? Guo Tongwen looked at the dozens of extra 100 yuan bills in her purse and was completely confused. Guo Tongwen, is this money yours? Teacher Zhao asked. It's not hers. The person who answered was not Guo Tongwen, but Tanjia. She pointed at the red bill. I marked this money. She took the red bill from Teacher Zhao and said, Everyone who gives me class fees, I will write the person's name on the back of the 100 yuan bill to prevent receiving counterfeit bills. Several classmates around took a closer look, and sure enough, there was a name written in pencil on the cover of the 100 yuan bill. It really is. Oh my god, I didn't expect Guo Tongwen to be such a person. She has good grades, but I didn't expect her character to be so bad. Guo Tongwen's eyes were red with tears. It's not me, it's not me. I don't know why the money is in my bag. Someone started to sneer. Who else could it be if not you? That's right. The money was found in your bag. Ren Ran was a little confused watching this scene. She thought it was coming for her, but it was coming for Guo Tongwen. She didn't expect this magical turn. Wrong guess. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo Yet. Chapter 24. She turned her gaze to Kong Lian, her eyes narrowed slightly. No, it's definitely not that simple. There must be something she overlooked. Based on her understanding of her, Kong Lian would never target Guo Tongwen for no reason, and must want to achieve her own goals through this incident. No matter what Kong Lian's purpose is, the final result is directed at her. Stealing rightward arrow Guo Tongwen rightward arrow her. Stealing is of a bad nature rightward arrow Guo Tongwen and she don't like each other rightward arrow how to retaliate against her? An answer is about to come out. A classmate seemed to have thought of something and said, Teacher Zhao, during the physical education class, I saw Guo Tongwen enter the teaching building. Yes, she left. I also saw her go to the teaching building. Once these witnesses came out, her guilt was basically confirmed. I didn't steal, it really wasn't me. No matter how Guo Tongwen defended herself, no one believed her. Everyone was more willing to believe what they saw. Ren Ran noticed Kong Lian's head-raising movement, and before she spoke, he spoke first, I believe her. She spoke suddenly, making Kong Lian's words stuck in her throat, and everyone looked at her in unison. Facing the surprised looks from everyone, Ren Ran said again word by word, I believe Guo Tongwen did not steal the money. Guo Tongwen looked at her in disbelief. Zhao Yi was so shocked that his jaw almost dropped. Wow, what is Ren Ran doing, actually speaking for Guo Tongwen at this time? It is well known that Guo Tongwen and Ren Ran do not get along. Although the two did not fight, they also had small-scale friction. At this time, those who usually have a good relationship dare not speak out, but those who have a bad relationship speak out, which is more persuasive than the former, not to mention that the one who speaks out is Ren Ran. Kong Lian was dumbfounded and stared at her. What's wrong with her? How could she speak for Guo Tongwen? MD. Is Ren Ran a naive person? The two have a bad relationship, but she still speaks for each other like a saint. She is simply sick. When she thought of her stealing her lines, Kong Lian was furious. Tanjia said, what evidence do you have to prove that she didn't steal the money? This question expressed everyone's thoughts, and Guo Tongwen herself was also confused. It's very simple, call the police and extract fingerprints. Ren Ran stepped forward and glanced at the banknotes. From the incident to now, Guo Tongwen has not touched the money. There are about 3 people who have touched the money and left complete fingerprints on it. One is Tanjia and Teacher Zhao, and the other is the person who framed Guo Tongwen. Mao Zhen questioned, there are many people who handle banknotes, and there must be a lot of fingerprints on them. For this little money, the police are usually unwilling to spend a lot of manpower and material resources to do this. This is the truth. I checked the fingerprints on the banknotes a minute ago. If the environment is cold and dry, they can last for a long time, but if it is hot and humid, they won't last too long. A complete fingerprint will only stay on the paper for a few hours, but an incomplete one will stay for several years. Ren Ran had clear thoughts and articulate speech, we are in the south, and the temperature is high now. Other people's fingerprints won't stay for too long. The class fees have been paid for more than a month, so this method is feasible. As for the police's reluctance, they are afraid of wasting manpower and material resources. You can rest assured about this. Yaxing Group has a pharmaceutical company, and I can ask specialists to extract fingerprints. Everyone was dumbfounded. In this short period of time, they have considered the follow-up. Ren Ran continued, maybe some people will think it's an exaggeration, but in my opinion, this matter is very serious. This is not just a matter of stealing, but it is framing and framing others, which is very serious. If we don't clear Guo Tongwen's name today, she will be branded as a thief. For her, this will not only ruin her reputation, but also hurt her soul. If she is not careful, she will suffer from depression. Finding out the mastermind is not only for Guo Tongwen, but also for everyone present. Just imagine, there is such a person who is full of bad water, like a venomous snake, lurking around us, ready to act, who knows what she will do in the future, and who will be the next target. It was originally a simple matter of stealing money, but after Ren Ran's mouth, it immediately rose to an extremely dangerous level. Someone kept nodding, Ren Ran is right, we must find out the mastermind behind this. Yes, yes, yes. We can't let her hide around us, who knows who will be the next unlucky person. Call the police, let's call the police. Ren Ran, the police won't take fingerprints, we have to rely on you. Teacher Zhao looked at the excited students and felt a headache. He looked at Ren Ran, feeling mixed emotions. Why didn't he realize that this girl was so eloquent before? Kong Lian was going to be mad at Ren Ran. Why is this person so difficult to deal with? Teacher Zhao looked at Guo Tongwen, what about you? Teacher Zhao, I want to call the police, I want the police to clear my name. I didn't steal, I just didn't steal. I don't know who is so vicious to frame me, no matter who it is, I must find her out and ask for the truth. Guo Tongwen's eyes were firm. Ren Ran's words gave her enough confidence, and she was grateful to her from the bottom of her heart. When she thought of the past when she was always inferior to her in grades, she disliked her. But when she was slandered, he was able to put aside past grudges and stand up to speak for her at the first opportunity. She was moved and felt guilty. She wished she could travel back to the past and slap herself hard. Ren Ran's magnanimity and broad-mindedness were not comparable to her. She was not as good as her, and she was convinced by her. Tanjia's eyes flickered, there is no need to call the police. Once the police are called, it will inevitably alarm the entire school, and then our class will. Ren Ran stood up to support Guo Tongwen's persistence, and all these performances made everyone believe it. Zhao Yi said, yes, send it for inspection. We must find out the mastermind behind the scenes. Kong Lian looked at the development momentum, angry and anxious. According to her original plan, when Guo Tongwen was questioned by everyone, she stood up to speak for her and provide technical assistance. When the things came to her hands, she could tell everyone that there were Ren Ran's fingerprints on them. She had no grudges with Ren Ran, and there was no reason to frame her. Everyone would definitely think that Ren Ran was taking revenge on Guo Tongwen. After all, the two of them had never gotten along before, and she had this motive. With Guo Tongwen's personality, she would definitely hate Ren Ran, but at the same time she would be grateful to her. This move can completely achieve the effect of killing 3 birds with 1 stone. She not only won people's hearts, but also made everyone feel her kindness. At the same time, she threw dirty water on Ren Ran, making people think that this person is narrow-minded, and finally she could turn Guo Tongwen into a knife in her hand. If there are any plans in the future, she can let her replace herself, and she can just sit back and reap the benefits. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo She Mo Yet. Chapter 25. Such a perfect plan. I didn't expect that Ren, who usually didn't deal with Guo Tongwen, would speak out in support. She was not surprised at all that other people supported Guo Tongwen, but Ren still supported her. The most surprising thing was that she couldn't figure it out. She was sure that she still didn't know about her plan. The only explanation is that this idiot Ren is a holy mother. If you don't add insult to injury to those you don't deal with, you've already done your best to be kind and righteous. It was definitely the Holy Mother who came to help. She was not defeated by the plan, but by her attributes of the Virgin. This feeling made her not know how to be angry, and she felt as helpless as a fist hitting cotton. Ren noticed the slightly twisted smile on Kong Lian's face from the corner of his eye, and knew in his heart that he was on the right track. Before, she just speculated that maybe her fingerprints would be left on those banknotes, and she would use these fingerprints to frame herself, making people doubt her character, discredit her, and isolate her. So she wanted to take the initiative and take things into her own hands. With or without her fingerprints, she has the final say. As for how Kong Lian got his fingerprints, well, with Kong Ji as his father, it was easy. Ren looked at Teacher Zhao's hesitant expression, and his eyes passed over the faces of Tanxia, Kong Lian, and Guo Tongwen, and a plan emerged spontaneously. Ren said, "Teacher Zhao, let's do this. In order not to affect the reputation of the school, and not to cause trouble to other students, we will not call the police for the time being, but the mastermind behind the scenes can also be found. I will take this piece of physical evidence back and have professionals extract the fingerprints, and then compare them with the fingerprints of everyone in our class. As for who is behind this and causing panic, I will tell the teacher that you are the only one. I also hope that that person will have some scruples in the future. If something like this happens again next time, we will be the first to suspect you." Teacher Zhao thinks this method is the safest. The college entrance examination is coming soon. Making too many mistakes is not conducive to learning. It can also be regarded as giving the child a chance to change his ways. "Yeah. It's up to you." Teacher Zhao nodded in agreement. The teachers all agreed, and no one else objected. Guo Tongwen said, "I am a victim, and I also have the right to know." "Okay." Ren nodded. "The matter is settled like that." Kong Lian didn't panic about this, because there were no fingerprints of her own on it, so she didn't need to worry. She was only upset that her plan had been ruined again. As for whether you're worried about whether Ren will spill dirty water on yourself, that's not a worry at all. After all, she had no enmity with Ren. The two of them have nothing in common. With her saintly physique, she would not do anything unjust. She was still very relieved about this. All the students thought that this matter had been revealed, but for Ren, this was just the beginning. During the afternoon break, Zhao Yi took Ren to the canteen, chirping and asking questions along the way. "Why do you suddenly want to help Guo Tongwen? If I were you, it would be great if I didn't add insult to injury. I even helped her talk and dream. I have to say, I really admire your magnanimity." Zhao Yi faced her. Thumbs up. In fact, many people were surprised by her behavior. She is still well deserved for her praise. She spoke for Guo Tongwen not just for her sake, but to protect herself. "If you don't do anything, you will fall into Kong Lian's plan." "I'm not as noble as you say," Ren said with a smile. Zhao Yi only thought her words were being modest. As soon as they reached the door of the teaching building, Guo Tongwen stood in front of the two of them and looked at Ren. "Can I talk to you?" Zhao Yi looked at the two of them and left wisely, "I'll go back to the classroom first. If you need anything, call me." After she left, the two of them walked towards the green belt. "What's up?" Guo Tongwen said, "I'm sorry, thank you." Ren raised his eyebrows. "I'm sorry, I have been targeting you before. I was jealous of you before. Before you came, I was the most powerful among the girls. Since you appeared, I have been inferior to you in everything. I have resentment against you in my heart, so I have been targeting you. Here I apologize for the things I did in the past. It was because of my narrow-mindedness and small-mindedness. As she said this, she bent down and bowed to apologize with a very sincere attitude. It doesn't have to be this way. It was just a squabble. Compared with the Ruan family, mother and daughter, and Konglji and others, it was really not worth mentioning. If you hate everything, life will be very dark. Her grandeur once again made her feel the gap between them, making her more like a clown in the past. Thank you for speaking for me today. If she hadn't spoken out, she would have been surrounded by endless rumors. Under the rumors, she could not guarantee that her mentality would be the same as before. Once unstable, her performance would definitely plummet. During this important period of senior year, being in this situation is tantamount to ruining the future. Ren was very grateful to her. I'm just telling the truth. You don't have to take it to heart, really. No matter what she said, Guo Tongwen always remembered her kindness. Kong Lian, who was not far away, watched this scene with his own eyes. His heart was pierced and his breathing became unsmooth. She should have been the one standing there to accept Guo Tongwen's thanks. I once again made wedding clothes for her, but this other person still did it. Hu Ziyue beside him noticed that Kong Lian looked very unhappy, and asked with concern, Kong Lian, are you feeling unwell? Kong Lian retracted his gaze, I'm fine, just a little uncomfortable in my stomach, a minor problem. Take care of yourself. Yeah. I didn't expect you to be so saintly this time, but I won't be so lucky next time. Ren, let's wait and see. On the weekend, Ren was doing his workbook. Just after finishing the math workbook, his phone began to vibrate. A message from Su Zheyin came in. Ren put down the pen in his hand and called Su Zheyin back. What's the situation? Su Zheyin didn't say any nonsense and went straight to the point. Just now I found that another group of people were investigating your father. It happened that I knew that person, and I used a little trick to find out his employer behind the scenes. What's the price? Ren was very sensible. Su Zheyin likes such sensible customers. Money is a small matter. You don't have to pay, right? Ren joked. Su Zheyin. I was just being polite. He coughed lightly, it's not much money, just give me 10,000. Okay, go ahead. The person who investigated your father was your mother. After Su Zheyin finished speaking, he couldn't help but sigh in his heart. This family is very interesting. The relationship between wealthy families is so complicated that ordinary people really can't guess. Thank you. The reward will be paid to you later. You're welcome. I heard from that friend that he has been investigating for a long time and has not found any evidence of your father's cheating, and he doesn't even have anyone to suspect. The secretaries around him are all men, and most of the people in the general manager's office are men. Even if there are women, they are all married and have children. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo Yet. Chapter 26. Your father keeps a distance from women. His life track has always been wandering around work and socializing. He will go home no matter how late it is. Speaking of this, Su Zheyin admired the rare good man, good husband, and good father in the world who cares about his family. I haven't found any abnormal behavior of your father for the time being. Su Zheyin couldn't help but remind him, Miss Ren, the most feared thing between family members is misunderstanding. If there is any misunderstanding, just solve it. Honesty is one of the solutions. Look, even these private detectives can't find evidence of her father's cheating. Even staring at him like this, they can't find any clues. It can be seen how meticulous and watertight her father is in doing things. No wonder she and her mother were caught off guard in her previous life. No wonder her grandparents didn't know that their good son-in-law had wolfish ambitions until the day they died. Since she was reborn, her father has never met the mother and daughter of the Ruan family. His self-discipline almost made her feel that the things in her previous life were all her imagination. "Uncle Sue, please keep an eye on my dad. If anything happens, be sure to tell me as soon as possible." Su Zheyin wondered why this kid was fighting with his own father. Isn't it good that his own father didn't cheat? Based on the principle that customers are God, Su Zheyin agreed. After hanging up the phone with him, Ren Ren was in no mood to continue doing the questions. What happened today was not without gain. At least, she saw her mother's crisis of trust in her father. Her mother began to wake up and no longer immersed in the beautiful dream woven by her father. She was able to face the problem, which meant that she had taken a step forward. The last step was to help her mother. If her father could hold back and not take the initiative to find the Ruan family mother and daughter, then let the Ruan family mother and daughter take the initiative to find him. Ren Ran couldn't say that he knew what kind of person Ruan Fengru was, but at least he knew that she was a person who could tolerate more than her father. I still remember that in her previous life, she relied on the assets of the Ren family to thrive in the financial circle and was a strong woman in the media. Part of it was because she had the support of Ren's assets, but it was undeniable that she had this strength. Otherwise, it would be difficult to gain a foothold in that circle. Ruan Fengru, she didn't want to confront him for the time being. The only target she could attack, and the best target, was only one: Kong Lian. She went downstairs directly and found her father Kong Ji in the courtyard. "Dad, your 18th wedding anniversary is coming soon. Have you ever thought about giving your mother a surprise?" Kong Ji put down the scissors in his hand and removed the branches of the bonsai. "Your mother doesn't like those fancy things. She likes my cooking the most." Ren Ran sneered in his heart. When she heard this before, she only felt that the love between her parents was very sweet, and she envied her mother for having such a husband who loved her. But after experiencing the last life, she realized that he didn't love her mother at all. He was reluctant to spend unnecessary money on her mother. He could send her mother away by simply cooking a few dishes. At Ruan Fengru's place, he bought her jewelry worth tens of millions and bought a house for his illegitimate daughter. If he spent money on his mother, how could he use it to support his mistress and her daughter? He would naturally be very stingy with them, and wrapped it in the name of love, which made his true love seem priceless. Ren Ran thought carefully, since she could remember, the gifts he gave her were either a small doll, a card, or taking her to an amusement park, or a silk scarf. In short, they were not of high value. She was not obsessed with luxury goods, and was not so picky about material things. She didn't feel anything about it before. The gift was given with heart, and Ren Ran agreed. "But you used the slogan of heart and the name of love to actually not want to spend money on her, in order to save money for the illegitimate daughter, which was what she couldn't stand the most. What's more disgusting is that he doesn't love her at all, not his mother. If he loved her, even half of it, he wouldn't have pushed her into the abyss in his previous life and watched her struggle in the quagmire with cold eyes." "Dad, are you going to cook for Mom again?" "What's the problem?" Seeing his daughter's contempt, Kong Ji smiled and said, "Your mom's love is more valuable than money." "Dad, don't blame me for not reminding you. Mom has been in a bad mood recently. You know, Aunt Wang's incident is still fresh in my mind. Why did he bring up Chairman Lin and his wife again? Last time, his wife showed him a bad face because of this matter. Why can't he get over it? What did you hear?" Thinking that Ren Suya had been a little abnormal recently, he came forward and asked with a licking face. Ren Ran raised his hand, rubbing his index finger, middle finger, and thumb back and forth. "I'll give it to you later." Mobile transfer. Ren didn't indulge. Konglji had no choice but to take out his mobile phone and transfer her 5,000 yuan. Seeing 5,000 yuan, Ren despised it in her heart. She heard Kong Lian mention that her father always transferred her pocket money of at least tens of thousands. 50,000 yuan versus 500,000 yuan, fixed pocket money. Thousands versus tens of thousands, just pocket money. As expected, love and hate can be reflected vividly in money. Not enough. Konglji transferred another sum of money, still 5,000. This time Ren stopped while he was ahead. If he continued, it would attract his attention. Ren lowered his voice. "A few days ago, Aunt Wan came to my mother, and I just listened to it. It really was just so pleasant to my ears." "I know you're listening," Konglji said angrily, his eyes urging her to continue. "Aunt Wang said that men are not good things. Love and love are all lies. Any man who is reluctant to spend money on a woman is all hypocritical. If you really love that woman, you will earn 10 yuan and 9 yuan. I am willing to spend 100 yuan on a woman. If I don't love the other person, I don't necessarily want to spend 100 yuan on her if I make 10 million yuan. Konglji's eyes flashed with uneasiness. "Does your mother believe this nonsense?" Ren was sarcastic in his heart. "I don't believe it." Konglji's expression suddenly became relaxed. "Your Aunt Wang's life is not as good as you want now, and the words people say when they are at a low point are often full of negative energy. Please remind your mother not to get involved with her all the time, and don't be fooled by her for nothing. She affected the mood." "Dad, I'm not finished yet." Okay, you continue." "Mom doesn't believe it, but she still has a knot in her heart. She even asked me 2 days ago if she loves her." "Would my mother ask such a thing before?" Ren asked. Konglji immediately remembered that Ren Suya had asked the same question last time. Chairman Lin's ex-wife is really a troublemaker. Psychologically speaking, Mom is insecure. If you still follow the previous method of cooking a meal, it will definitely not work. In a few days, Wanbayad will hold an auction. I heard that if you take a photo of a set of rubies and give them to your mother, and pair them with red wine and the food you cooked, will your mother still worry about gains and losses?" Ren's hands were on his shoulders. "Dad, it's up to you whether you can give my mother enough sense of security. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her." Author, Mo Yet. Chapter 27. Did he notice his mother's abnormality during this period? Today's words can provide a cover for his mother and at the same time peel off a layer of skin from his father. Based on her understanding of Kong Lian, she absolutely couldn't help it. A hole was dug for his father, but the bait was not enough to cause him pain. In the previous life, Wanbayad did auction a set of rubies, and that set of rubies was auctioned for 18 million. Compared with the value of the set of rubies, it is already a 5% premium. She wanted to empty her father's pockets, and the set of gems wasn't worth enough. So she arrived at the mountainside villa at night. "Grandpa, Grandma, can you lend me a set of jewelry?" Ren Hongru was a little surprised. "Of course, why do you want this all of a sudden?" "I'm useful." "Tell me more specifically." Looking into Grandpa's wise eyes, he hesitated again and again before speaking out his plan. After hearing this, the couple was greatly shocked. The shock on Grandma's face could not be taken back for a long time. "Of course, you." Ren Hongru held his wife's hand and stopped what she was about to say. "Okay, come and get it after school tomorrow." "Good." The old couple did not keep her here today, and when she left, the expressions on their faces were heavy. "Old man, do you feel that Ran has changed and become very mature?" It felt like she was an innocent little princess one moment, but in the blink of an eye, She became mature after ups and downs in society. She's grown up. Grow up overnight. This kind of thing has happened to many people, and those who have this kind of situation often encounter the biggest obstacle in life. After crossing this hurdle, I grew up overnight. Her father's cheating and having an illegitimate daughter who is a few months older than her are undoubtedly a hurdle in her life. That's a good thing. Actually, there was one thing that Grandma didn't say clearly. Just now, she felt her granddaughter's indifference and hatred toward her father. This was what surprised her the most. She knows best what kind of temper her granddaughter has. Simply cheating will not make her like this. It will only happen if he has done more excessive things. The next day, Ren came to the mid-levels villa as promised. Grandma personally handed her a set of jewelry worth 80 million. This set of jewelry is for Ren. There is no need to return it to Grandma. Grandma gently patted her hand, her eyes filled with distress. Grandpa also prepared a gift for you. There was a knock on the study door. Come in. A professional woman wearing a suit and her hair tied up walked into the study. Dr. Ren, Madam, young lady Gao Ying greeted them one by one. Sit. Gao Ying sat down on the sofa opposite. Ren Hongruo said to Ren, her name is Gao Ying. She will be your assistant from now on and will help you handle everything. Ren's eyes opened slightly. Ren Hongruo looked at Gao Ying. In the future, when taking care of everything, remember that it is everything. Gao Ying was surprised, but had no objection. In the car leaving the mountainside villa, there was another person beside her. Gao Ying looked at the young lady beside her. If she remembered correctly, the person in front of her was only a senior in high school. Judging from the personnel structure of Yaxing Group, when the chairman retires, his uncle Kong Li will succeed him, and it will not be the turn of the half-year-old child in front of him. However, the chairman sent her to the young lady's side, which was a bit intriguing. Ren noticed the confusion in the new assistant's eyes. She had no explanation and no need to explain. She would understand after time. Now I give you a task. Did you see the bag beside you? There is a set of jewelry worth 80 million in it. I want you to put the set of jewelry into the auction before the Wanbayat auction. A little difficult, but not a big problem. Gao Ying responded without any pressure, okay. You have to ensure that this lot falls into the hands of Konglji, and it must be higher than the market price. This is difficult. However, what surprised her the most was the way the little lady called Mr. Kong, not Dad, but the cold name directly. Combining the actions of the old chairman and the attitude of the young lady, Gao Ying smelled something unusual. The group is about to change. Seeing that she didn't respond for a long time, Ren said again, is there a problem? No problem. Once Miss Ren takes over the position of chairman, her status will also rise, which is a good thing for her. As the first thing Miss Ren ordered, Gao Ying worked very hard and did everything very properly. It can even be said that she overfulfilled the task. Ren had just finished class and took out his phone to check the messages, and saw the latest message sent by Gao Ying 5 minutes ago. Kong Li then took a photo of the set of jewelry given to her by her grandmother for 98 million, and also took a photo of the set of rubies worth 18 million in her previous life. It's just that in his previous life, the transaction was for 18 million. This time, under Ren's intentional control, he paid an extra 5 million to get the set of jewelry. Ren gave Gao Ying instructions again. Gao Ying couldn't help but frown after seeing the information above. Publish this matter, publicize it in a high profile. Gao Ying didn't think about it for a while, but it didn't hinder her movements. In the evening, Ren was eating in the cafeteria with Zhao Yi and others when he heard bursts of exclamations, accompanied by constant glances directed at her. A classmate walked up to her and said, Ren, your dad bought a set of jewelry worth hundreds of millions this afternoon, and a set of rubies worth 23 million. 98 million, rounded up to hundreds of millions. The media's headlines are so plain and simple. Zhao Yi heard this and took out his mobile phone to check it. He was amazed when he saw it. Ran, your dad spends a lot of money, so generous. Ran smiled and revealed the information. My parents are about to have their wedding anniversary, this should be the wedding anniversary gift he prepared for my mother. This answer once again made the onlookers exclaim. So romantic. What kind of fairy love is this? It feels like a domineering president and a sweet wife. I envy Ran's mother so much. That set of jewelry worth hundreds of millions must be for Ran's mother, so the other set of rubies can't be for you, someone asked. That's for sure, Zhao Yi said with a smile. The classmates were talking about it, but Ran kept a smile on her face and did not respond. Kong Lian, who was sitting not far away, was in a very bad mood listening to the discussions of the people around her. Kong Ji was her father. She wanted to tell everyone loudly, but she couldn't and didn't dare. What a bullshit fairy love. Dad didn't love the mother and daughter at all, everything was fake. How could that set of jewelry be given to that vicious woman? It must be given to her mother. That vicious woman doesn't deserve such jewelry. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo She Mo Yet. Chapter 28. Asia Star Group. The assistant opened the door to the general manager's office. Mr. Kong, I have something to report to you. The 2 sets of jewelry you took at Wanbei this afternoon have become popular on the internet. The assistant handed him the hot news page for review. After Kong Ji read it, a surge of anger surged into his heart. Who stabbed him out? The assistant was stunned. He didn't expect the general manager to react so strongly. This incident is not negative news, but is beneficial to the group. Find a way to remove it. Kong Ji was very angry. This report undoubtedly disrupted all his plans. He originally wanted to give the set of rubies worth more than 20 million yuan to Ren Suya, and another set of jewelry worth more than 90 million yuan to Ruan Fengru in the name of opening up foreign relations, so as to transfer the money reasonably. Once this report came out, it would be very risky to implement his plan again. As soon as Kong Ji, who was unhappy, returned home, he was greeted with a hug. Ran said with a smile, "Thank you, Dad." Kong Ji was stunned for a moment and pulled his daughter down. "Why do you want to thank me? Dad, please don't hide it from me. I already know it. You bought 2 sets of jewelry at the auction. One is for my mother and the other is for me, right? My classmates all know it." Ran noticed the slight change in his father's expression, as if he hadn't seen him before, and continued to chatter, "Dad, you have never given me such an expensive gift." This last sentence was like a slap in the face, instantly waking him up from his anger. Kong Ji endured the pain in his body and said with a smile, "I'll give you the ruby set." "Thanks, Dad, I knew you were the best." Ren Suya's urging voice came from inside the house. "Why are you 2 standing at the door chattering? Come in quickly." The 2 walked happily into the house, and Ran whispered, "Mom saw the news and is in a good mood today. Shouldn't you praise me?" "Little clever devil," Kong Ji tapped her forehead with his finger, looking doting on her face. Ran chuckled. In the past few days, Ran was very proud of herself in the class. Everyone knew that her father spent a lot of money to buy jewelry worth hundreds of millions for the mother and daughter. This situation is the result of letting things go unchecked. She would pay attention to Kong Lian's changes every day, watching her expression become uglier day by day, thinking in her mind that it was time to give the final blow. And this opportunity lies with Guo Tongwen. Ran came out of teacher Zhao's office and saw Guo Tongwen waiting at the door as soon as he came out. "Have the investigation results come out?" Guo Tongwen has been thinking about this matter. Ran nodded. She looked around and said, "This is not the place to talk. Ye Guo Tongwen nodded. The two arrived at the small woods behind the teaching building one after another. Who is it? Ren Ran thought about it for a while and said, if I tell you this result, you may not believe it. I believe it, Guo Tongwen said firmly. We extracted complete fingerprints from only 2 people. Except for the 2 banknotes that teacher Zhao encountered, only Tanjia's complete fingerprints were extracted from the other banknotes. What does this mean? Guo Tongwen didn't react for a moment. Perhaps the person who framed you was wearing gloves, so only Tanjia's fingerprints were left, Ren Ran explained. Guo Tongwen was stunned for several seconds before coming back to her senses. Do you think it's possible? Guo Tongwen smiled sarcastically. She thought about what Tanjia said that day when she mentioned calling the police, and she sneered in her heart. Ren Ran shrugged, it's hard to say. Except for teacher Zhao, Tanjia was the only one whose fingerprints were extracted. Still, he didn't lie. He told the truth. Whether it was with the teacher or Guo Tongwen, she told the truth. Kong Lian was not mentioned in the whole process. If Kong Lian is dragged into the water now, she will see Kong Lian get into trouble in the short term, but in the long-term plan, this small profit is not enough for her to do so. Have you ever offended Tanjia? Ren Ran asked curiously. No, Guo Tongwen wanted to deny it directly. That's weird. Not to mention that Ren Ran was strange, she herself felt strange. The relationship between Tanjia and her could not be said to be very good, but it was not to the point of framing her. Ren Ran continued, a person will not do this for no reason, there must be some purpose. Just like in the TV series, for example, she wants to achieve a certain purpose by framing you. Or she is being instigated by others, etc. possible. Guo Tongwen couldn't help but nodded and listened to these words. I'll go find Tanjia and ask for details. Ren Ran grabbed her and said, don't be impulsive. If you want to ask, it's better to ask in private. Teacher Zhao doesn't want to expand the matter. He wants to give the other party a chance to change his ways. However, I don't think anything can come out of asking after all, just extracting her fingerprints is not enough to convict her. If you want to know who it is, you have to. Guo Tongwen understood what she meant, don't worry, I will find a way to trick you out. During lunch break, Ren Ran saw Guo Tongwen calling Tanjia away. It was the same grove in the morning, the same 2 people, but the atmosphere was not as harmonious as before, full of tension and oppression. What do you want from me? Tanjia asked, pretending to be calm. Guo Tongwen looked at her with a smile, Tanjia, I haven't offended you, have I? No. I didn't offend you, but why did you want to kill me? Her face turned cold. Tanjia's heart tightened, what do you mean? You are still stubborn at this time? Is it interesting? I don't understand what you are talking about. If there is nothing else, I will leave first. Tanjia turned around and wanted to leave, but Guo Tongwen would never give her a chance. She grabbed her arm with such force that she almost pulled her down. You want to leave before things are clear. Let go. Tanjia couldn't break free, stopped, and looked at her angrily, what do you want to do? I want to ask you, what do you want to do? The results of the extraction are out, don't you have anything to tell me? I just want to know why you want to frame me. I didn't. She still wanted to leave, but this time Guo Tongwen didn't stop her, but said quietly behind her, if you dare to leave, I will turn around and tell everyone about this. I will make you unable to stay in this school. Even if you transfer to another school, I will visit the school you transfer to and promote you. Spread your glorious deeds. Tanjia turned around suddenly, staring at him, as if looking at a madman. Do you think others will believe you if you say it? Do you have evidence? Evidence? You don't have to worry about that. What you do, can't I do it? Guo Tongwen crossed her arms and was confident, if you do it on the first day, don't blame me for doing it on the 15th. I, Guo Tongwen, do what I say. If you don't believe it, let's wait and see. You. Guo Tongwen continued, are you doing things for others? You have to think clearly before answering. I'm not, I just don't like you. This is undoubtedly telling her that there is someone behind her. Guo Tongwen smiled, Tanjia, don't treat everyone as fools. What I can guess, do you think she can't guess? You, what do you mean? Tanjia finally panicked. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo she mo yet. Chapter 29. Noticing Tanjia's slightly changed expression, Guo Tongwen became more and more convinced of her suspicions. Thinking back carefully about what Ren Ran said, she admired her even more. Fortunately, she was smart enough to calmly think about everything between her and Tanjia after returning. Fortunately, she clearly understood what Ren Ran had said before. Although Ren Ran didn't say it explicitly, it had already hinted to her that there was someone behind the incident. Now he deceived Tanjia, and his true colors were revealed. These years of fighting in the palace and at home are not for nothing. You don't want to offend that person, so why do you dare to offend us? Since you have already guessed it, why do you still ask? Tanjia frowned. I want you to admit it yourself. Tanjia lost her temper and said, since you know she was the one who instigated it, do you think you can defeat her? Look at how smart Ren Ran is. If she doesn't take the initiative, let you do it? If you are afraid of three-pointers, what confidence do you have to confront them? Guo Tongwen was stunned. She thought the instigator was Pei Ming or Su Li, but judging by her tone and the content of her words, it was clear that the instigator was not them, but someone else, and this person was probably the only person in the class who could rival Ren Ran. There is only one person, Kong Lian. It turns out to be her, Guo Tongwen suddenly realized. You lied to me, Tanjia reacted, anxious and angry. She thought they all knew, that's why she dared to say so. Even if Kong Lian knew it, he couldn't blame her. But now I realized that I had been fooled and foolishly revealed it. Oh, it's not that I deceived you, but that you feel guilty. If you are not a professional criminal, how can there be so many people with high psychological quality? Guo Tongwen, can you please not tell this matter? You and I are both knives in their hands. There is no need to hurt each other for them. Although she didn't know the specific reason why Kong Lian targeted Ren Ran, it was pretty much the same thing. Two people belong to the same class, so it is normal for them to compare with each other, not to mention what Ren Ran said last time. It is easy to offend others and it is natural for them to be resented by each other. She gave me 100,000 yuan, and I can give you half of it. This incident has not caused any loss to you, and you can still get 50,000 yuan, so why not? Tanjia Xiao was moved by reason. Persuasion. 100,000 yuan is a huge amount of money for a high school student. Even adults who have worked for many years may not have that much money in their pockets. Her silence seemed to Tanjia as acquiescence. No one can escape the temptation of money. Where you go? Seeing that she was leaving, Tanjia was dumbfounded and shouted hurriedly. Guo Tongwen turned to look at Tanjia. I won't tell her, but I don't need your money either. Tanjia stood there, staring blankly at her leaving figure. Back in the classroom, Guo Tongwen subconsciously glanced at Ren Ran, who lowered his head and studied the questions carefully. Does she know? Still don't know? After struggling all afternoon, Guo Tongwen finally couldn't help it and approached Ren Ran and Zhao Yi. Zhao Yi glanced at her and said nothing. After the three of them had dinner, they walked towards the lake. Zhao Yi walked in front of them very wisely, keeping some distance between them. Do you know who is hiding behind? Yes, Ren Ran nodded honestly without hiding anything. You want to use me against Kong Lian, right? Use or cooperate, it all depends on what you think. What do you want to do? Don't worry, it's nothing illegal. You just need to compare my parents with her parents in front of Kong Lian. Is it that simple? Guo Tongwen was surprised. Of course, do you want to do something else? Ren Ran looked at her funny. Good. Aren't you afraid of being used as a knife by me? Ren Ran asked. Guo Tongwen shook her head. I am willing to be used by you. At least you are more honest than her. One is passive and the other is active. There is still a big difference between the two, not to mention that the moment Kong Lian dragged her into the water, they had already become enemies. Now it's just a matter of working with someone who can confront her and teach her a lesson. It's not about using her, it can only be said that everyone gets what they need. It has to be said that Guo Tongwen is a master of innuendo. When she compares her with Kong Lian from time to time, her insinuation skills of intentionally or unintentionally flattering others are definitely full of skills. Kong Lian's face became worse and worse day by day, and when he finally saw Guo Tongwen's small mouth, he turned around and left. Her fighting ability is still absolutely perfect. Kong Lian shouldn't be able to hold on for long before he takes action. Ren Ran assigned Gao Ying the third task. Investigate this woman, all the information. The assets in her name, the large expenditures in the past 10 years, etc., the more detailed the better. Remember, be careful and don't let the other party notice. Ren Ran sent Ruan Fengruo's message to Gao Ying's mobile phone. Gao Ying briefly glanced at the information about the mission target. Although she didn't know the purpose of the little lady this time, she was sure of one thing. The little lady definitely had a follow-up plan. This is like the last two missions. During the first mission, she hadn't seen it through yet. By the time of the second mission, she understood the little lady's true intention. She calmly dug her father's private money into her own pocket without spending a penny. Every move she makes is calculated. What she did was the last step. She completed all the previous steps by herself without letting Mr. Kong notice. Just for this reason, Gao Ying did not dare to underestimate this high school student. On Sunday afternoon, Ren Ran was doing homework, and the mobile phone on the table vibrated slightly. Su Zheyin sent a message. Kong Ji and a mother and daughter were shopping in Hangzhou Mall. Su Zheyin on the other end of the phone sent this message very complicatedly, feeling a little guilty and guilty. He almost missed a big thing. Before, I always thought Kong Ji was a good father and a good husband. Now I see him hugging other women and the girl next to him calling him dad. The family of three is so happy that Su Zheyin can't help but want to slap himself a few times. Within a minute, Su Zheyin received a reply from his employer. Keep an eye on it, location sharing. After Ren Ran sent the message to Su Zheyin, he found his mother arranging flowers in the courtyard. Mom, where is Dad? There is an emergency meeting today, so he went back to the company. Ren Suya didn't look up, arranging flowers quietly and elegantly. This quiet and peaceful situation will no longer exist in a few hours. For a moment, Ren Ran felt that he was very cruel, breaking this peace with his own hands. The reluctance flashed through his heart, and was quickly occupied by reason and reality. Mom, I found a restaurant, let's go there to eat tonight. I'll treat you. Ren Suya raised her head. I'll call your dad to see if he's free. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo she Mo yet. Chapter 30. Since the private detective she hired gave the result, Ren Suya's attitude towards her husband has improved again. Ren Ran did not stop it. The phone was quickly answered. Wife, what's wrong? My daughter wants to treat us to dinner. Can you come back tonight to eat together? In the Hangzhou shopping mall, after Kong Ji called her wife, Kong Lian pricked up her ears to eavesdrop. After hearing what the other party said, her mouth shrank and she looked at her father with pitiful eyes. Kong Ji looked at his daughter's aggrieved look and said to the person on the other end of the phone, "Things are a bit tricky. I can't get back for a while. Next time, I will go with you next time." Ren Suya nodded sympathetically, "Okay. You should pay attention to rest and don't work too hard." "Well, I will." The call ended, and Ren was not surprised at all. It was really unexpected that he agreed. "Your father can't come back, let's go next time." Ren Suya didn't want her husband to be absent. Ren walked up to her and hugged her arm affectionately. "Mom, if Dad doesn't come back, can't we be alone? You love Dad, not me." Okay, I'll go with you." Ren called Gao Ying and she drove the car herself. It only takes more than 2 hours to get from Hai City to Hangzhou City. Gao Ying was a little surprised when she saw the location sent by the young lady. After the car left the city and got on the highway, Ren Suya was a little surprised. Ran, where is this restaurant you are looking for?" "Hangzhou City." "What restaurant makes you run so far to have a dinner? You still have to go to school tomorrow." Ren Suya thought for her. "Mom, this meal is more meaningful than going to school. What medicine are you selling in this gourd?" She smiled but said nothing. After passing the toll gate and entering Hangzhou City, it was already around 5 o'clock in the afternoon. According to the location sent by Su Zaiyin, it was a private restaurant. Ren Suya looked at the private restaurant with a stylish decoration in front of her, and didn't see anything special. Su Zaiyin saw the employer coming and was about to step forward, but when he saw the person following her, he stopped silently and sent her a message. "Your father and his friends just went in for more than 10 minutes. They need to make an appointment, so I can't go in. I don't know which box they are in." Ren Suya subconsciously raised her legs to walk in, but Ren didn't move, and looked sideways at Gao Ying. "Sister Yingying, please pack a meal for us, a combination of meat and vegetables, clean and hygienic." Ren looked around and took her mother to the door of a store opposite, and pulled her mother to sit on a lounge chair beside. This position is just right to see the private restaurant clearly. On the lounge chair behind them, Su Zaiyin was in the line. They looked at each other and understood each other. Ren Suya really didn't understand what her daughter was going to do. Gao Ying brought the food, and the three of them ate cheap fast food in plastic boxes. It was the first time for Ms. Ren Suya to eat this kind of fast food. Ran, is this the delicious food you want to take me to eat?" Ren Suya was a little bit unbelieving. "Yeah." Ran nodded, "Mom, these dishes are delicious, with a hint of fireworks." Ren Suya watched her daughter eat the food in big mouthfuls, and at that moment she felt that she was not as good as a child. She tasted it twice, and the taste was a bit strong, with too much seasoning, but seeing her daughter eating it happily, she was uncomfortable for a few seconds, and slowly got used to it. The three of them ate the box lunch quietly. After finishing the box lunch, Ren Suya saw that she was still not leaving, and followed her gaze to the private restaurant across the street. Ran, are you hiding something from me?" "Mom, how many emotions will a person experience in his life?" Ren Suya looked at her deeply for a few times, and spoke after a long while: "Family, love, friendship, master-disciple relationship, etc. Among these emotions, which one do you think is the most indispensable?" She did not answer, but asked in confusion, Ran, what's wrong?" "Mom, just answer my question." Ren Suya suppressed the doubts in her heart and thought for a moment, "Family." Then, Ran told some metaphorical stories. Even the most dull people understood what was coming. "Is he in there?" "This him, it goes without saying." Ran nodded. At this time, a family of three walked out of the private restaurant. The middle-aged man and woman were arm in arm, and the girl beside them was chattering. Outsiders who saw the scene would definitely think they were a happy family. Only the parties involved knew that they were a hidden existence. Ren Suya looked at the intimate scene of her husband and Ruan Fengru, and her heart, which had just healed, was torn apart. Konglji thoughtfully opened the car door for Ruan Fengru and kissed her face before getting in the car. Who wouldn't envy their love in the sweet atmosphere? The three of them got in the car and drove away quickly. They didn't know that a group of spectators witnessed their daily life as a loving family of three. Gao Ying was not surprised at all when she saw Mr. Kong coming out with other women. Instead, she had a mentality of expecting it to be so. Not to mention that after seeing Ruan Fengru, she knew it all. She knew that the person the young lady asked her to investigate was definitely not simple, not to mention that during the investigation, she also smelled unusual business secrets and had a close relationship with the group headquarters. Ren Ran noticed her mother's trembling body, hugged her with both hands, rested her head on her shoulder, and whispered, "Mom, did you see the girl next to him?" Ren Suya naturally noticed it. She is a transfer student who transferred to our class this year. Her name is Kong Lian. She said her father's name is Kong Ming Cheng. She has 500,000 pocket money every month. Her father often buys her jewelry and bags. She is picked up by a luxury car every day. As she narrated, the words her daughter once said in her ear passed by clearly. Ren Suya raised her eyes and looked at her with tearful scarlet eyes. Illegitimate daughter, picked up by a luxury car. Her daughter, who took the bus every day. Illegitimate daughter, 500,000 pocket money every month. Her daughter, only 50,000 yuan every month. Illegitimate daughter, often received jewelry and bags. Thinking back to the gifts he gave to his daughter, Ren Suya felt like a knife in her heart. What bullshit can't make her become arrogant and extravagant, what to cultivate her view of money, all of these are excuses. Why is an illegitimate daughter treated better than her daughter? Why is a thing that can't be put on the table, but surpassed her daughter? She is the daughter of the Ren family, not the illegitimate daughter. She thought she loved her husband, but he treated their daughter so harshly behind her back, and even wrapped them in gorgeous candy paper, making them eat poison wrapped in highly toxic drugs. Ugh! Ren Suya suddenly pushed Ren Ran away, got up hurriedly, walked to the sidewalk tree, held the tree trunk, and retched. Seeing his mother so uncomfortable, Ren Ran felt distressed. Was she too cruel? But when he thought of his mother's future fate, he suppressed that trace of reluctance.